Hey y'all, what is good with everybody? Welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen because of what we're going to discuss today. So, if you guys read the caption, we are talking about Fraternity Row The Pledge, read along chapters 1 through 4. Fraternity Row is my very first published book. For those of you guys who did not know, I am an author. I have been one for a published author for about 4 years now. I'm extremely excited to share this with you. Hi, Jim Bunny. Thank you for joining me. I knew you were going to be here. Didn't want to disappoint you, my love, because I know you're ready for this. As I saw earlier, y'all, Jim Bunny was up in here at what was that 12:19, telling me that she is ready for this. I'm so thankful that you are here. I know Mrs. Best is here as well. She is also Best just joined us here. Look, he's ready. Oh my goodness, y'all. Thank you guys for joining me today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and read the synopsis. Thank you, Mrs. Best. Make sure you guys subscribe to my girl because after this live, we're gonna be on her channel to do Never Ever Met. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. I am so excited. So, I'm going to read the synopsis first. So that way we know what we're getting into. For those of you guys who do not have your copy of Fraternity Row, no worries. Google has the first 48 pages and it's in my description for book preview. Go ahead and click that so you can follow along right with us. Don't be ashamed if you don't have the book yet. No worries. Google got you. So, there we are. So, I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis first so we can begin. So, the synopsis is when four fraternity brothers plan to take over the Pledge fraternity, they start by playing a prank on a party guest who planned to pledge for their fraternity. What seemed like a funny prank ended in an accidental death. The four members are confronted by a vengeful mother, a sneaky girlfriend, a member of the fraternity, and a corrupted detective. As guilt plants a seed for the four members, secrets are exposed, brotherhood will be tested, relationships will be challenged, and the fraternity in which they serve will be on the line. How will the four members save themselves, the fraternity, the friendship, and escape the graduation hooded person who is out for revenge? Who is this person here? So, this whole concept of this book and the ones that are coming, because this is one of six. The second one will be out later this year, and I am so excited about that. After we're done reading the entire book, I will read you guys chapter 1 of the next Fraternity Row book. So be on the lookout for that. You don't want to miss it because when I tell you, it goes there, it goes there. The first chapter does not disappoint. So let's see if we have any idea of who this is. So we're going to start it out, first chapter. So make sure you guys go ahead and open up your books, page 1. Chapter 1 is called Alpha More Graduation Party. Okay. So we start off with German. He is our first introduced character in Fraternity Row. So German reads, there we were again, another party. Summer was here and school was over. A part of me was really excited because my biological brother, Paris, had graduated and was leaving our fraternity house. I walked through the back so no one would know I hadn't been there the whole time. Paris would have killed me if he knew I'd snuck off. I walked in, the music was loud and the place was crowded. This was a party thrown by Paris Rygen, but it was chaotic. Hey G, come here, Paris said as he walked across the room to me. He had a huge grin on his face. I thought he was about to throw me in the crossfire for leaving, but he didn't. What's up? I asked. He put his arm around me and surprisingly said nothing. As we walked through the party with people acknowledging his very existence, that made me sick. But hey, 3 months from then, I wouldn't have to worry about this. I'd be running Alpha More, our fraternity house, with my own crew. Paris saw a beautiful brunette in the corner, so he walked over and I headed to the kitchen. I knew my boys would be there. My crew was Justin Baker, the quiet yet personable one, and Adam Banks, the sensitive, I know he's shy, the sensitive yet creative one. And of course, every crew had one who was egotistical but sweet. And ours was my best friend, Donnie Diamante. The four of us were officially sophomores at Pendleton University, and we were going to rule Alpha More. When I walked in the kitchen, I saw Donnie mixing drinks, Adam preparing pinwheel sandwiches, and Justin putting them on the platter. Hey, G, where you been? Donnie asked. I had a biology final, I said as I began helping Justin. I thought that final exam was tomorrow, asked Adam. Do you really think I was going to make it tomorrow with the crazy party going on? I asked. Please, this party sucks. The only reason people even came is because of the food, said Donnie. I told you the parties Paris threw were boring, not to mention weren't what we stood for as Alpha. You wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, Paris had gotten hit on by every girl and guy here, said Justin. Justin was being truthful. Part of being the little brother of Paris Rygen was that I always lived in his shadow in the fraternity house, on campus, and even our childhood home. My dad was surprised I had even been chosen to be an Alpha, considering Paris and I couldn't be more different. My dad had also been a member of the Alpha. He was one of the biggest legacies of the house. I'll tell you more about my dad soon. But for now, time to enjoy the festivities of a really boring party. Well, boys, before we have to go out into the crazy, let's have a toast, said Donnie. He poured silver tequila in our shot glasses. This party kicks off our sophomore year. I'm excited that we made it through freshman year with the pranks, the parties, the classes, and my favorite of all, the ladies. Let's toast to running Alpha more sophomore year and screw the new seniors, Donnie said as we raised his shot glass. I agree. As I said, I raised mine. They all do Alpha more, and hoo is is actually their little chime, you guys. We yelled and down the tequila. The burn reaction we all had was priceless. The door flew open, and some guy stormed in. He looked at us as if he walked into a murder scene. I'm sorry, the guy said. He began to shake. Who the hell are you? Donnie asked the scared guy. That scared the guy even more. I'm Ben Clovis, he said in a nervous tone. I want to pledge for Alpha more this year. Are you sure? Justin asked sarcastically. We all looked at Ben. Sure, Alpha More has to be the best house in the whole Greek system. You guys throw the best party, and it seemed like a real brotherhood living here. He wasn't wrong. I would have taken a bullet for any of these three, which was how loyal I was to them. That's real sweet, man. In fact, I know how we can make it official, Donnie said convincingly. I looked at Donnie as if he had lost his mind. You do? Ben asked enthusiastically. Sure, follow us, Donnie said, smiling. I knew Donnie was going to prank this kid so bad. However, he was he was right. Once they leave, the graduating seniors appoint a member of each class to pick a pledge to automatically vote in. I knew for sure I was going to win because Paris had chosen me. Donnie knew exactly what he was doing and convinced this poor kid to engage in the silly prank. We all walked out of the kitchen. We got in my Range Rover and drove off. So that is German. Now, German is, as we know, guys, he is a descendant of a legacy, his father, and now his brother. So now that his brother is graduating, he is now next in line. That plays a huge, huge part in his storyline. So I don't want you guys to miss that. And also, I don't want you guys to not take it seriously because that's going to come up not only in this book, but also the second and the third book. So we're going to see German's dynamic with his brother and his father, which when we get deeper into the book, it's going to be quite disturbing. I'm going to put that out there now. So next character we have is Adam. So Adam, that starts out with his segment. I had a full sour stomach riding in the car, sitting next to this kid who had no idea what he was in for. We drove to Brescia Lake, which is in the middle of the woods. I saw Donnie looking in the rearview mirror at Ben. I couldn't quite see Ben's face, but I imagined he was about to shit himself. Who wouldn't have? Donnie pulled in. Donnie pulled up along the ditch. Really, Donnie? I just brought new tires, German said as he looked out the window. I promise it'll be fine, Donnie said with a smile as he put the car in park. When I realized where we were, I knew exactly the prank Donnie was going to pull. I hope this kid could swim, well, because this challenge sucked when we had to do it. Donnie and Justin led Ben to the location while German and I stay back a distance to talk. Uh-oh. Where the hell is Donnie going? German asked. You had green community when we had to do this challenge, but just to let you know, this is going to suck, I answered with a disappointing tone. We approached the lake and the four of us crowded around Ben, which made him very nervous. Well, Ben, my boy, this is called Sunken Lake. A part of the commitment to Alpha More is to always wear your Greek letters. Donnie said. He was referring to the Greek letters we all wore around our necks. Donnie took off his letters and held them up. The challenge will be to rescue these from the bottom of the lake. I saw German shaking his head and not agreeing to any of this. If I do this, I'm in, Ben asked in an anxious tone. Donnie threw his letters into the water. Losing your letters was a highly disrespectful matter, and intentionally throwing them into a lake was even a crazy more even for Donnie. Will you rescue our Greek letters? Asked Donnie. Ben looked very concerned, and I was unsure if he would jump in the water. Ben looked at the lake as we all gave him room to jump. Well, are you going to rescue our letters? Donnie asked again with a huge grin. Ben looked at Donnie with all seriousness, as if he knew how important the Greek letters were to us. He took off his shirt, which Justin picked up. I'll fold this for you, said Justin said. Ben gave him a nod, did a small jog in place, and did an impressive dive into the water. He did it. He actually jumped in, Donnie shouted. Did you think he wouldn't? German asked in irritation. Come on, G. I didn't think he would actually jump in, Donnie looked at the lake. I'm going away to my car. This is ridiculous, German said. He began to walk and he began to walk away. I noticed that it had been a little bit of time Ben hadn't come up for air. I started to get concerned. Unless Ben was a great swimmer, he would have come up for air. Damn, he's a great swimmer, Donnie said, reading my mind. Shine the light in the water, Donnie, Justin said in concern. Donnie flashed the light in the water, and the three of us looked. Guys, I don't see him, Justin said. We continued to watch for him. I never saw Donnie get nervous. His ego wouldn't let him. Man, something's wrong, Justin shouted as he began to take off his shirt. German ran back up to us. What happened? He hasn't come up yet, said Donnie. German took his phone and his keys out of his pocket and jumped in with Justin. Donnie and I looked around to be sure Ben wasn't floating. Man, I can't believe this is happening, Donnie said. He was very nervous. German and Justin rose out of the water. He's stuck, German yelled. He and Justin went back down. I looked at Donnie. His nervous look had turned into complete worry. So we're done with Adam. So now, we are in a tricky situation. So Adam is now telling the story of how the prank happened from his point of view. So now we're going to get into Justin. So Justin is in the water with German, as we know. So this is where we're going to go continue from Justin. In the water, I noticed Ben's foot was caught. He wasn't responding to German and me. I grabbed German and we rose to the surface. What's going on? Donnie asked as he flashed a light on us. Looks like his leg is stuck somehow, German said. G, come up, Adam said as he jumped into the water with the flashlight. When Adam pointed the light at Ben, we saw the branch he was caught on. I swam next to Adam and pulled on the branch, which let Ben's foot free. We got Ben to the surface and Donnie helped us get him out of the water. What do we do? Donnie asked. We have to give him CPR, German said. How are we supposed to do that? Donnie asked, though this kid was unconscious and in bad condition. I thought it was funny to see Donnie scared because his ego was so big that it would stomp on any human emotions he had. Move, I'll do it, German said as he got on the ground. Justin, level his head up for me, he told me. I folded his shirt to make a pillow. Donnie called the police. Donnie called the police to tell them we need an ambulance. We heard a branch break and thought we weren't alone. Everyone looked into the woods. What was that? Asked Adam. Hello, Donnie yelled. It became very silent as we continued to look. So I'm going to turn to the next page. We're going to see what that is. Do you guys think that was someone? Asked Donnie. No, it probably was an animal. Let's do this, German said. Donnie called the police and the ambulance as German propped Ben's mouth to give him CPR and as Adam pumped his heart. Adam counted backwards from 10, but Ben didn't respond. G, do it again, Adam said. As G gave Ben air, if G gave Ben air again and Adam continued to pump. Donnie came back. Paramedics are on the way. He's not responding, G said. Is he dead? Asked Donnie as we looked at each other in disbelief. The paramedics and the police arrived. I didn't know what to do. We watched them take Ben away. The police approached us. Gentlemen, I'm Officer Jenkins, and this is Officer Verone. What happened? He jumped into the water, and his foot got stuck on a branch down below, German said, as if he weren't nervous. Why did he jump in the water? Verone asked. We were all silent. The officer looked at us. I asked the four of you a question. It was supposed to be a prank, Donnie said. A prank? Jenkins asked. That was the moment I knew the four of us were in deep trouble. I couldn't believe this had happened. If I could go back, I would have told Ben to just to enjoy the party. Yes, Adam said. Hang tight, Jenkins said as he and Verone walked off to converse. Another car pulled up, and a well-dressed gentleman got out and approached us, smirking all the way. Gentlemen, I'm Detective Darren Drake. I'm here to investigate what happened and get your side of the story. Drake asked us routine questions to get an idea how Ben had drowned, but he didn't seem to buy our stories about what had happened. And I saw that irritated German. You four are telling me that his foot got caught in a branch underwater and you believe he was underwater for more than 3 minutes, Drake asked. I said it was approximately 3 minutes, German said. This question may be a this question may seem a little unethical, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Do you think did you know Ben Clovis prior to the incident? We were thrown off balance by that. We looked at each other and we all said well, we just had met him at the party. Drake walked off to with the other or Drake walked off to with the other officers. I looked at them wondering if they were talking about arresting us and charging us with murder. I wanted to go home. The longer we waited, the more anxious I became. Drake walked back to us with that smirk of his. Gentlemen, at this point, I don't have anything to hold you on, as I don't have an autopsy report to suggest with anything other than accidental death. I'll be in touch with you after I get the report. You're free to go. We walked to German's car. What do you think is going to happen? Adam asked. We're going to be charged with reckless endangerment. We could receive 5 years since it resulted in an accidental death, and we might be discharged from Alpha More, German said. Hearing those words made me worry even more. I didn't know how I'd overcome this. It's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So Justin just described to us initially, through German's words, what could happen to them now that Ben has died. So now we're going to hear from another character outside of the four, which is going to be Detective Drake. So now we're going to see where he stands with all of this. The next morning, I received a call from Monty Clark, the toxicologist, and an invite to his lab. I went there and gloved up. Good morning, Monty, I said as I walked up to the examination table. Good morning, Detective Drake. I'm hoping you have something for me. I do. Cause of death is drowning. I did find a scar on his left ankle, Monty said as he lifted the leg up. There was a struggle, which may indicate he got stuck on something at the bottom of the lake, I wrote in all of my report. He provided me all the details to charge the four boys with reckless endangerment. I was going to place his report in my report and charge the boys to the fullest extent in the law of Maine, in Maine. So that's chapter 1. So let's pause for the calls real quick. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the video. So we have now the situation. Ben Clovis is drowned. He has now died accidentally in the boys' care. We know they're going to be charged to the fullest extent of the law in Maine. So that is what the detective plans to do. So that's where we are so far. So if you're just getting here and you're not all the way caught up yet, we're on chapter 2 now. So I just let out everything. Shout out to the replay gang, but we're here and we're on chapter 2 now. So we're starting off chapter 2 with Adam this time. So Adam joins us now, and we are 3 months later. So 3 months later, I was driving back to Pendleton. The four of us had been charged with reckless endangerment. German found an amazing lawyer to represent us. We spent the summer doing community service, but all separately. So I hadn't seen Donnie, Justin, or German the entire summer. I missed them despite the trauma of Ben's death. Driving back to Pendleton was rough, mainly because I had to drive past Fisher Lake to get to campus. I was having flashback of that night. I drove up to Concord Street where the Alpha Moore House and 5 other fraternity houses were. The street behind us was Lexington Street where the sorority houses were. Alpha Moore was at the end of the street. I had a designated parking space in the lot next to the house, so I was able to avoid the parking on the street. I didn't see Donnie's, Justin's, or German's car, which made me nervous. I started to think that they had changed their minds about coming back to the house. I walked up to the house avoiding the freshmen. When I opened the door, I heard a very familiar voice. Yeah, baby, touchdown. Oh, yeah, Donnie yelled. $20 right now, he told our frat brother. Adam, Donnie yelled when he spotted me. Couldn't wait to get back, I said, smiling. Are you kidding me? The last 3 months have been hell, Donnie said, and we laughed. It's really good to see you, bro. I missed you. The door opened and in walked in Justin with the beautiful girl, who was 5'1" to Justin's 6'6". Bros, Justin shouted and then hugged Donnie and then me. The girl smiled, seeing Justin in his element. Guys, I want to introduce you to Pip, my girlfriend. She smiled and extended her hand. Pip, this is Donnie and Adam. Donnie smiled but seemed a little hesitant. You look familiar, Donnie told her. She smiled. I just transferred here from Columbia, so unless you spent any time there, I don't think you'd know me. Where's G? Asked Justin. He hasn't shown up yet. Donnie said, we're all wondering the same thing. Oof. So German hasn't showed up yet. So the rest of them are back at the Alpha Moore house. So now we're going to see why German is there as he's the next character. So German stands out. The summer was horrible. My dad tormented me the whole time about what had happened. I decided to go to Brescia Lake before I went to Alpha Moore. I hadn't told the rest of the guys, but I gone to Ben's funeral. What I can tell you is his family was in such disbelief about what had happened. I walked to where we pulled him out of the water and began questioning everything. I knew I was dwelling on it. My feelings of guilt for this kid's death haunted me more than anyone knew. My phone vibrated. It was a text from Donnie. G, where are you? As I wanted to respond, I didn't. But I knew that I had to get to Alphamore to check in. Another text. G, come on, please respond. We had court in a couple hours. I decided to meet them there. I just needed a moment. In court hallway, I saw my den father, Mr. Owls. German, how are you? He asked as we hugged. I'm okay. You didn't show up at the house. You still need to sign your contract. He said as I looked he said as he looked at me with concern. I need a couple of days, I said, hoping he would understand. I didn't want to tell him I was having second thoughts about rejoining Alpha Moore because the guilt was haunting me. We'll talk later. Your case is about to begin, he said as he opened the courtroom door. I walked in and saw Donnie, Justin, and Adam in the front of the defendant's side. I walked to their row and joined them. I texted you. Why didn't you answer? Donnie asked me. Sorry, my dad gave me a third degree all summer. I needed a moment to myself, I said, hoping Donnie would accept that. The doors opened. The four of us turned and saw what looked like Ben Clovis walking into the courtroom. What the hell? Donnie asked. That's not who I think it is, Justin said. It's not, I said. That's Brandon Clovis, Ben's twin. All rise, court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Hosted Crowley presiding. If you guys know who that judge is, put it in the chat because that is a reference from a movie, one of my favorites. So put it in there. We all rose. I looked at Brandon, who was looking at us and smiling. The four of us walked out of the courthouse. I'm free, Donnie said as he extended his arms up. The judge had mercy on us. He dismissed our probation since we all had been consistent with our community service. It turned out a lot better than I thought it could. I could have imagined, Adam said. I knew they were going to ask why I hadn't shown up Alpha more, so I brought it up myself. Guys, I don't think I'm coming back, I said. And they gave me the shocked looks. I have a lot going on, and I don't know if I can rejoin the house with all that's happened. Gee, we've all had a horrible time with this, but you know it won't be the same without you, Justin said. Donnie was staring at something behind us. Guys, look, he said. We turned and saw Mr. Alves and Brandon talking. Get in my car so we're not seen, I said as we all got in. We saw Brandon look at a paper and Mr. Alves handing him a pen. What do you think he's signing? Adam asked. All of this is strange, G. How do you know Ben had a twin? Donnie asked. I went to Ben's funeral, and by the looks of it, we might be way in over our heads in this new situation, I said. Uh-oh. Trouble, you guys. I'm just saying. That can't be good. So Justin is our next character. I found out Donnie would be my roommate that year. I knew sharing a room with him would be interesting. Adam, who roomed with him last year, said that Donnie had a different girl at least twice a week and had a gumball machine literally filled with condoms. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see that because I was. But I had a girlfriend and was going to do my best to be faithful to her. A knock at the door. I walked over and answered. It's Pip, who said, "Hey, babe," with a smile. Hi, I responded, and we kissed. I invited her in and closed the door. She looked around and said, "This room is really spacious." Yeah, it's a lot bigger than the room I at my at home. Is your roommate here? And yeah, Donnie, you met him earlier. He's kind of different, she asked. I guess fraternity men always have a certain exterior to them, but Donnie's quite the mystery. I began setting up the place because there was a house meeting in about an hour to go over house rules. Want to give me a hand setting up? I asked. Sure, Pip smiled and began hanging my clothes in the closet. A piece of paper fell out of the closet, which Pip picked up. I walked over quietly and quickly so she wouldn't read it. What's that? Pip asked. Nothing, I answered, hoping she wouldn't ask any more questions. I hadn't spoke to Pip on why I had been charged with reckless endangerment, and luckily she was a transfer to Pendleton, so The word about my criminal past hadn't reached her. I knew that it was unfair to keep her in the blind the part of my life, about that part of my life, but I wanted to forget it had happened. Pip was organizing my closet when the door opened. Yo, bro, I'm super excited you're my roomie, Donnie said as he seen pause seeing Pip. As he paused seeing Pip. Sorry guys. Mine, I'm so excited about this. Hi, Pip said. Hey, Donnie said and looked at me. Awkward. I'm going to put this on my bed and leave. Donnie said, no, actually, I'm going to take off, Pip said. She gave me a kiss. Call me? Sure, I said. Pip left and I shut the door regretfully. I looked at Donnie, who was shaking his head. You know this isn't going to work, right? He asked. What's not going to work? I asked, knowing he was talking about Pip. This whole relationship thing. You know, alpha more men are single to smash. Who says I won't be smashing? I didn't say you wouldn't be smashing, but it's a lot better to be single and smashing. I shook my head throughout all of this. I was glad Donnie hadn't lost his ego. After he and I finished setting up our room, we walked into a hallway and saw Adam come out of his room. Hey man, how's your room? I asked. He looked bummed out. My roommate is Brody Brockett, Adam said as we walked down the stairs. Dude, that sucks. Brody is annoying as hell, Donnie said. What sucks more is that G was supposed to be my roommate, but since he hadn't decided to come back, I got stuck with Brody, Adam said. We all looked at each other. Somehow we need to convince G to come back, Donnie said. How? I don't want him to feel like we're badging him to come back, I said. I know how to get G to come back, Donnie said as German quietly came up to us. Get me to come back where? German asked. Come back here, G. You know this house wouldn't be the same without you, Donnie said. Before German could respond, Brody came up to us and said, Hey guys, house meeting in 5 minutes. He said as we rolled our eyes. I could tell this is going to be a long year, Adam said, shaking his head. We made our way to the conference room where 50 of us were going to have a discussion with our den father, Alves. So now Donnie's going to what is okay? Hold on, I'm not even reading the comments. Thank you guys for not commenting because I'm not paying attention. Sorry, but Jim Bunny said people named Brody are hella annoying, aren't they? Absolutely, even the nickname. So this is now Donnie's perspective of the house meeting. The house meeting was a circus. The seniors were seated to the right of us, right at the podium. Behind them were the juniors. The sophomores were on the left of the podium, and the freshmen were behind them. Adam, Justin, German, and I sat in the front row to make sure the house knew we were taking over. Hello, Alpha More, Alf said. We're back for another year, successful college adventure. If you're sitting here, that means you are a member of Alpha More. There are 49 of you here, which means we're missing one. Mr. Alves, Brody asked. Yes, Brody. I noticed German's name isn't on our sophomore roster. Is he still an Alpha More? I've been sitting next. If I'd have been sitting next to Brody, I would have backhanded him in his nose, even though I knew that was because of our actions. We were on thin ice. Yeah, you don't want to hit him, Donnie. Keep it cool. Unless German resigns from Alpha More, he's still considered a member. Alf said. He looked to his left, and I said, I would like to introduce you to the 50th member of the house, Brandon Clovis. Wow. We were stunned. Brandon walked up to the podium, waved, and said, Thank you for having me. Everyone clapped. Gentlemen, we are aware that this is Ben Clovis's brother and that Ben was going to pledge for our fraternity this year. Pledge week has been canceled, and the freshmen were selected based on interviews I conducted. Brandon, please join the freshman section, Al said. Brandon walked past us with his creepy smile. After the meeting, we all went to Justin's and my room, and Justin closed the door. Well, this confirms what we saw at the courthouse, Adam said. This is strange. Like, why would he join the very fraternity that was responsible for your brother's death? Justin asked. Yeah, could this day be any worse? I asked sarcastically. A knock came on the door. The door opened. Brody appeared. Hey, guys, you have a visitor in the living room, he said as I became more annoyed. We headed downstairs, not sure who this visitor could be. Hopefully, it's the mayor issuing an apology letter to us, I said. The guys laughed as we walked into the room, but our visitor was Detective Drake. The surprised look on our faces made left field look right. Well, Justin Baker, Adam Banks, Donnie Diamante, and German Reichen. Welcome back, Drake said. I thought we would never see this jerk again, but I thought wrong. I understand you boys have a party to prepare for, so I won't be long, Drake said, making us nervous. May I ask why you're here? German asked, sounded irritated. Sure. Ben Clovis's case has been reopened. Apparently, there was certain circumstantial evidence that has surfaced over the last several months. I read the autopsy report, German said with confidence. Ben's death was determined due to accidental drowning. There was a bruise on his left foot indicating that he had been trapped underwater, which is what 2 out of the 4 of us said at our trial for reckless endangerment. His parents are requesting a second autopsy, which is within their rights, something you should be aware of since you're a pre law major, Mr. Rygen. Drake said, smiling. Have a great party. The detective left. Oof. So, let's dissect that because we're on chapter 3 now. So, as we know right now in this very moment, we know that Ben Clovis's investigation has been reopened after the guys had did their sentencing in time. So, which is actually a thing that can happen. The parents, if there is a fault somewhere, or if you're married, there's a fault somewhere, and you want a second opinion, you actually can get one. So now we know that one, German hasn't decided if he's coming back to the house yet. Drake has reopened the case due to the parents wanting to do another autopsy to see if there's anything else they can uncover. So, how do you think this is going to play out? That's a lot to uncover in the first 2 chapters of the book. So, it's going to even get even more interesting. So, now we're going to go to chapter 3, and this time Justin is starting us off. So, we're going to read what Justin says. So after Drake's surprise visit, we all agreed that the party was more important and that we wouldn't dwell on what he had said about the investigation. But I was scared and wasn't sure if I was in the mood to party. The sophomores were in charge of the school scare party. Donnie had the brilliant idea to turn our house into a haunted maze. The 4 of us and Adam's roommate Brody and 5 sophomores, Petey, Jonesy, Otto, Brian, and Dunbar planned it. Guys, it's real simple. We start with the entrance. The first scare will be the door slamming. We'll have the first costume move them into the east wing, the kitchen to upstairs, and then the conference room from where we'll move them into the real party in the backyard, said Donnie as he pointed at the map. What if someone gets hurt? Brody asked as to Donnie's annoyance. We still have those liability forms from the Halloween party the seniors threw last year. We can make copies and get everyone to sign them, Donnie said. Donnie was really good at organizing parties. He had every detail down as if we were opening a business. I have costumes for you all. They're upstairs. Make sure you come. Make sure you come to the room when you're done setting up, Donnie said as he looked around. All right, guys, hands in. We we made a circle with our fists and yelled Alpha more hoot hoot hoot. Donnie, German, and I were in charge of setting up. Adam, Brody, and Otto were in charge of the food. Petey, Jonesy, Brian, and Dunbar were in charge of the drinks. Donnie made the freshmen hang the decorations throughout the house, while the juniors and seniors set up things in the backyard. Donnie, German, and I walked to the front door where the maze began. Donnie had the thought it would be a good idea to install a hydraulic pump on the front door, and the engineer was almost finished with that. Mr. Owls walked up to the as the engineer explained how the door would work. All right, gentlemen, this is how this works. When you're in a clear zone, you push the button and the door will slam at 20 miles per hour. He pressed the button and the door slammed shut, scaring everyone. Donnie chuckled. This is so awesome. Donnie, this seems very dangerous, Owls said. Mr. Owls, please, I'll make sure that everyone is safely inside before I push the button, Donnie said. Okay, fine. Make sure everyone signs a copy of the forms. Yes, sir, Donnie said. All right, and here's the bill, the engineer said. And here's the guy who will be paying, Donnie said as he pointed to German. German took the contract and scanned it. 2,000? I take all major credit cards, said the engineer. Donnie smiled and nodded at German, who gave the man his credit card. Donnie went to make copies of the waivers, and German and I went to the kitchen to check on Adam, who was there alone and multitasking. Hey guys, grab an apron. I'm desperate, he said. Where's Otto and Brody? I asked. I sent them to the grocery store. Nobody went shopping yet. I thought the seniors were supposed to do that, German said. They obviously didn't, Adam said. The stove bell rang. G, can you get those? Adam asked. When German was putting on the oven mitts, Donnie walked in. All right, I made 200 copies of the waiver, and why does it smell like ass in here? The smell was coming from the tray German was putting on the counter was very indeed odd. Those are my Cajun baked tuna balls, Adam said as he put them on a plate. We all gave Adam a look of disgust. What? All we had in the pantry were cans of tuna. Try one, Adam asked. We each took one. I ate mine first as Donnie and German watched me. It's actually really good, I said to German and or Donnie and German. Good, here's mine, Donnie said as he and German gave me their tuna balls. I'm going to order pizzas. I'll meet you guys upstairs, German said. If all else fails, Adam, I'll eat your tuna balls, I said to make Adam feel better. Interesting. All right. So now we go to move on to Donnie. The first part of the year was always the toughest in the frat house. I looked online to see that over 200 had RSVP. Not bad considering I posted that only an hour ago. Hey, Donnie, Brandon said, approaching me. Yeah, I asked, not seeming interested. I'm all settled in. I was wanting to help out, and everyone said I should talk to you, Brandon said, not getting the clue. You're a freshman, right? Yeah. Freshmen are in charge of setting up and cleaning up. I think they're finished, so you can just get ready for the party. Brandon nodded and left. It felt weird being in the same house as this kid. I walked into the office where German was working on the computer. That guy is really creepy, I said. Who? G asked. Brandon, I said, confirming German's suspicion. I could tell when German was up to something. Who doesn't know his best friend? What are you up to? I'm on Ben Clovis's Facebook profile, German said as he looked at through Ben's pictures. Why? I asked. I don't know. The fact that the investigation is being reopened concerns me. Gee, come on. That detective jerk is full of it. There's not going they're not going to find anything different from what they found before, I said as I watched German scroll through the pictures rapidly. Wait, go back, I said, and German went back a few pictures. Stop right there, I said. He and I looked at the photo of Ben with Pip. I knew all hell was about to break loose. I couldn't hide my smile. Who's that? German asked. Come on, you don't recognize her? I asked, knowing if German had met Pip. No, that's Justin's girlfriend, G. The new one? Yes, I said. You think Ben and Pip dated? Let's see if there's any more pictures, German said as he scrolled through looking for some more. And we saw pictures of Ben and Pip that looked like they had been taken a few days before his death. Wait, go to that picture, I said, pointing at that one. German clicked on it. That's what he was wearing the night he died, German said as he pulled up the picture, which was indeed the night of the party. German clicked on the next picture, which showed them at our house for the graduation party. German and I were shocked. No way, I said. She was there the night of the party. Do you think she knows that he left with us? German asked. Don't know, I said as I selected to print on the computer to get a copy of the picture. Where are you going? What are you doing? German asked. Saving this for Justin. We have to tell him. No, not now, I said. Donnie, we can't just sit here and allow this. I know, but how would you feel if you were him? I want you to tell me. I agree. This may be everything or maybe nothing. Either way, we owe it to Justin to tell him after the party. We'll meet in your car and tell him. For now, let's get ready for the party. German agreed to that. Adam, Justin, and German and I were in my room to pull out our costume out of the bags. Justin opened his first. Cool, I'm Leatherface, he said. Adam opened his bag. I'm Jigsaw? Nice. We all looked at German. I grinned hugely because I knew German was going to kill me. He opened his bag and pulled out his costume. Chucky? Donnie, what the hell? He punched me, which cracked Justin and Adam and me up. Sorry, but I couldn't help it. You're 5'5", short and cute, and so is Chucky at times, I said as I laughed. What are you dressing up as, Donnie? Adam asked. The sorcerer, the Greek god himself. How fitting, German said sarcastically. I was right next to Justin's phone when it rang and I saw it was Pip. Donnie handed Donnie, hand me my phone, please, he said. And I pitched his phone to him and he said, guys, I'll be right back. And he walked out. The look German and I gave each other made Adam suspicious. What's wrong? He asked. I peeked out of the room to see how far Justin was at the end of the hallway. I closed the door quietly and nodded to German. Look at him, German said. We're about to show you something, but you can't tell Justin about this just yet. I gave the print to Adam, whose eyes went as large as saucers. That's we know, Adam. Pip and Ben the night of the graduation party, the night he died. I said, where did you get this? Ben's Facebook page, said German. You're going to tell him? Tell me what? Justin asked as he walked back in. We all thought we'd been caught. G didn't order enough pizzas, I said as I snatched a picture out of his hand. Oh no, Richie, I liked Adam's tunas balls, so I'll just eat them. Justin said, cool, let's party. So, y'all, before we get to Adam, who's our next character, we have to unravel some other things. So now we know that Pip was at the party the night that Ben died and that they were a couple. And now Pip is with Justin. So, are we suspicious of anything yet? Is there something going on here? We're picking up something because now I'm trying to figure out why would you be in a relationship with the man who was accused of killing, or I don't know necessarily killing is the word, but was responsible for your then boyfriend's death. Very weird. Very weird. And I want you guys to pay attention to that because in book number 2, it gets even more interesting with her character. So, the next character is Adam. I looked out of the window and saw the line for the party was really long. Word had gotten out that we were having a maze in the house. Freshmen always ruin the surprises. Hey, German said. Have you looked outside? I asked. Yeah, they set up 6 tables, which means 12 people are coming in at a time. It would take forever to get them through the front door, so some freshmen are letting people in the side entrance, German said. German looked concerned. Donnie and I were going to tell Justin at the end of the party where we were going to meet in my car. I nodded as we put our mask on and I powered on the jigsaw laugh, which got everyone's attention. Nice. Okay, guys, listen up. Operation Scare Maze is now in full effect, so we're going to do this in shifts. The seniors will take the 8 o'clock shift. We have 10 minutes until it's 7. Any questions? Donnie asked us 10 sophomores. All right, let's get moving. The first 12 people entered. The room was dark. We had black lights and red arrows pointing at the door, which had a sign that read dead end. I looked at the people who walked up and saw Pip among them. Donnie made sure the door was clear before and then pressed the button. The slamming door made everyone scream. Justin opened the dead end door and started the chainsaw. Pip, who was in front of the door, fell and screamed. Justin pulled her to her feet and started running. And she stared running. Or she stared running. Sorry, guys. This is long reading this out loud. Babe, wait, Justin said as excited Donnie stopped him from chasing her. The crew was coming my way. When the first person crossed the line, I had the red light come on and activated the jigsaw laugh. Pip was directly in front of me and was terrified. The arrow pointing the crew to the conference room, a very large room where German was. I watched German scare them, and Donnie was right. German played a great Chucky. He led them to the backyard, and I signaled Donnie to let the next crew in. The first walkthrough of the maze had been awesome. I saw Justin walking toward me. Hey, Otto, Justin said as Otto ran up to him. What's up? I asked Justin as he taken off his costume. I scared Pip really bad. I need to make sure she's okay. Justin said as he gave his costume to Otto, who put it on and ran to get behind the dead end door. I'll be right back, Justin said. Okay, guys, get ready, Donnie shouted. I continued to scare the guests for an hour-long shift. The seniors came in the same costumes except for Donnie's. His ego wouldn't permit anyone else to wear the same costume. Donnie, German, and I walked outside. The entire campus was at our house. Where did Justin go? Donnie asked. He said Pip was really scared. He wanted to check on her. I said, really? Donnie asked in his annoying tone. Donnie, come on. She's still his girlfriend, regardless of what we found out, German said. Listen, that girl is shady. I'm starting to think that she's dating Justin for insight, said Donnie. Insight on what? I asked. Think about it. Why is this case being reopened? Why would she date the guy knowing he killed her boyfriend? Donnie asked. Well, we didn't kill him. He drowned. I said. German said as if he just had an epiphany. Suppose Justin and words it exactly like Donnie just did. That would be considered a confession, which would add her as a character witness if she's working with Drake. German said as Donnie nodded. We have to find Justin, I said. Donnie was starting Donnie was staring to the right. Who the hell is that? German and I looked in the same direction and in saw someone in the same sorcerer costume Donnie had on and holding a medieval axe that looked real. Did you buy someone else that costume, Donnie? I asked. Hell no. Why would I do that? Donnie asked. Donnie started to walk. Donnie started walking to whoever it was, and German and I followed. The Greek guy pointed the axe at us, which made Donnie charge him. The music started, which caused the crowd to get up and dance. By the time we made our way through the crowd, the Greek god had disappeared. You see him? Donnie asked. As we all looked around, I saw Justin hugging Pip outside. No, but there's Justin, I said and pointed. We walked to Justin, who gave Pip a kiss after she walked off. Hey guys, what's up? He asked. Where's Pip going? Donnie asked. Home. Her anxiety levels are through the roof. I scared her pretty bad. Justin looked quite suspicious as he looked behind us. Donnie, someone has your same costume. We all turned around. We all turned where Justin was looking. Let's get him, Donnie said as we walked. Donnie said as when the Greek guy ran into the house. The four of us ran into the house, not sure if anyone else had noticed the guy. We saw him run upstairs, which led to 20 rooms on the two levels. Donnie led the way, Justin followed, and I followed German. Once we arrived at the second level, Donnie stopped. Adam G, you take the second level. Justin and I'll go to the third level. Donnie said as we split up on the top level were juniors and seniors, while freshmen and sophomores were on the second floor. I figured this would be quite a chase. So now we know that there's another character that has been placed in. So we have a lot going on, y'all. So in terms of now, we know someone else came in with the sorcerer costume. Who do you guys think that was? Any takers? Put it in the chat if you have an idea of who that person was that wore the same costume as Donnie. Do you guys think that was Brandon or do you think that was someone else? So now we're going to go ahead and turn around. So chasing, no, this is German, by the way. So we're on German now. Chasing some idiot in the Greek god costume was stupid. For all we knew, it could have been any upperclassman playing a prank. Adam and I walked down the hallway slowly. Who do you think this is? Adam asked. It could be anybody. This is all Donnie and his ego because someone wore the same costume, I said. I noticed that Justin and Donnie's room door was cracked while the others down the hallway were closed. I tapped Adam's shoulder and pointed at the door. Adam held his finger to his lips and shushed me. We walked in even slower, just came in just in case he was in there. I pulled out my phone to text Donnie and Justin to come to their room. I heard Donnie's ringer, so I knew they were close. Adam peeked in the door as Donnie and Justin came down. Donnie got in front of Adam and flashed his finger 1, 2, 3. We shoved the door open and barged in. The room was empty. The window was open. We rushed to the window but didn't see anyone outside. Hey guys, Justin said as he pointed to our Greek letters hanging from the top of the mirror. Donnie, isn't that yours? No, I'm wearing mine. Donnie said as he took the lettered necklace down and he looked lost. What's wrong? I asked. Guys, this is the same one I threw in the lake that night. Donnie said, no way that's the same one, Adam said. Donnie paced in the room as Adam and Justin looked at the necklace. Donnie, are you sure that that's it? As thinking it would have been impossible for it to have surfaced. Justin read the name on it. Justin, read the name on it, Donnie said. Our names had been engraved on our letters when we joined the fraternity. Clear gold jewelry, he said. Donnie, that doesn't prove anything, said Adam. Adam's right. This could have been made by anyone, I said. That's where you're wrong, G. Only 5 of us knew what was thrown in that water the night, and one of is dead, Donnie said. Donnie has a point, G. Unless one of us told someone about what we did, how could someone know where Donnie got that from and planted in the room? Justin asked. Adam looked guilty as we all looked at him. Adam looked at all of us, and it was a struggle for him to speak. I told Detective Drake about the Greek letters, Adam said. So Drake was the only other person that knew it would make sense why it would reappear. You think he bought another replica? Donnie asked. Let's find out, I answered. In the hallway, we saw a door open and Brandon steps out. He gave us a smile and headed for the stairs. The guys followed me out to my car. Justin got in the front seat. Are we going someplace? Justin asked as we were quiet. No, we need to talk to you about something first, I said. About what? About Pip, said Donnie. Pip? Justin asked. I gave Justin the picture of Pip and Bim, not knowing how he would react. He looked at the picture and in disbelief, what the hell is this? I went on Ben's Facebook profile and found the pictures of him and Pip. The picture was the night of the graduation party, I said. Justin started to shake a little. Justin, Donnie said as Justin opened the door and slammed it. That went well, I told Donnie and Adam. Do you guys think we should have done this? Adam asked. Suppose he found out another way. Or worse, suppose he found out we knew and hadn't told him, Donnie asked. Adam and I went back into the party. We saw Justin alone on the bench and went over to him. He looked very angry. How long have you guys known about this? He asked. We just found out today, said Donnie. What do I do now? Justin asked. Either talk to Pip about it or go on Facebook to see if maybe we're wrong about the relationship, Adam said. That's not a bad idea, Donnie said. Maybe he should look at the profile. Maybe we all should. Something might be there. We walk into the office as the party was going on. I can't believe we're missing the party of the year, Donnie said as Adam was helping Justin on Facebook. And I helped Donnie find out more about the Greek letters. What do you want to search? Donnie asked Donnie. Go to the website where you bought the replica. We'll start there. Guys, look at this, Justin said as we gathered around the computer. Pip had a timeline about how she couldn't believe the love of her life was gone. It was dated a week after Ben's death. Damn, Justin, I know that was hard to read, said Adam. I don't know if I can face her right now, Justin said. Donnie and I went back to the other computer. This is it, Donnie said as he pulled up some contact info. The place is in Boston, I said as I wrote down the address. What do you want to do? Asked Donnie. Let's go there tomorrow after cleanup. We'll see if we can get more info about who bought the necklace so we can know how serious we need to take this. Oh, Lord. So, I have 9 minutes before I have to appear on Mrs. Bess's live. So, okay, let's hurry up here. They're about to open up a can of worms. They really are. That's a very good point, Jim Bunny. They're about to open up a really big can of worms. It's not suspicious. Should have been red flags. Are you talking about Pip's like confession about losing the love of her life? You don't think that you don't think it's not suspicious, or you think it's a red flag? I want to make sure I know what you're talking about. So the last chapter, guys, because I have to hurry up. So the next character is Donnie. The day after the Alphamore party, we had to clean up the huge mess. We had just finished doing that, and Justin and I were waiting for Adam and German to come downstairs. Justin really looked down. What's wrong, man? You look like you lost your big brother. I said, I don't know what to do, man. Justin said. I moved closer to comfort him. I knew he needed a friend. It'll pass, said Brandon, who just walked past. Whatever you're feeling, it will pass. He left the room just as German and Adam came downstairs. What was all that about? German asked. Who knows? The kid's strange. Ready? I asked as we walked out to German's car. I called my lawyer, G said. He's going to look into the case being reopened. What do you think he'll find? Asked Adam. I think he'll find out that the Clovis family will try to sue us, said German. Maybe we should call our parents, I said. No, if they try to file a civil case or civil suit, I'll settle with them out of court. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for that myself if it comes to that, said German. What most people didn't know about German Reichen was that he was loaded. I mean, well paid. I wouldn't want him to lose his money over something that had been an accident. What if Brandon put the necklace in our room? Justin asked. One thing's for sure, if Brandon did it, we'll find out. I said. We parked in front of the Clear Gold Jewelry store and went in. Good morning, gentlemen. How can I help you? The jeweler asked. Mr. Keegan, I was hoping you could answer some questions, Sherman said. Online, it says you can make replicas of necklaces. I had one made that looks like this, I said. I showed Mr. Keegan the replica. He examined it. Yes, this is definitely mine, he said. Do you mark them accordingly? Asked Sherman. Maybe. What's it to you? Anyone can come in and buy this to replicate our fraternity house symbol, said Adam. If you look closely at mine, you could see the engraving. It was made by a manufacturer in New York, Adam said. Still don't see what this would have to do with you, said Keegan. What if I buy that replica and the information on the person who bought it? German asked. The price will be too high for you, way more than what this is worth. What's your price? Asked German. Keegan smiled at German, not knowing that there wasn't a price he could give German that he wouldn't be able to put on the table. 500, Keegan said. German pulled out his wallet and counted 500. 500 clear and easy. And here's an extra 100 if you can get me that information right now. Keegan scooped up the bills and went to the back room. Adam and Justin looked at German in shock. Keegan came back with an index card he handed to German, who read it and smiled. Pleasure doing business with you, sir, said German as he took the necklace from Keegan and walked out. We all followed him. Gee, I hope that was worth $600. Or 600, German said. German smiled. Trust me, I would have paid $6 million for this card. He handed the card to Justin. We gathered around. We read the name Darren Drake. Our shock was apparent. We headed back to Pendleton. I looked at the card with Detective Drake's name and address and phone number on it. What do you think this means? I asked. It means that Drake was working on the other side of the spectrum, German said. Why would he plant this in our room? Asked Justin. At this point, I don't know, but we know we can't trust him, German said. Guys, look, this card is about to open a Pandora's box. All we can do is keep the same story. I'm going to get my lawyer involved more and we'll make it out of this. Do we even know what this is? I asked. Look, the outcome of this may be nothing, but it's all we have at this minute, and maybe it's all we need. I wasn't sure how the others felt, but all of what was happening was strange. Brandon joining the Alpha More, Clovis case reopened, Drake planning the necklace, and whoever was in the Greek god costume. I believe we were coming back to anything but a normal school year. I believe we were stepping into a full-fledged revenge plot, and I believe that the number of people we could trust outside of the four of us needed to be very limited. So that was Donnie. So now we're moving on to Adam. We got back from our long drive from Boston, and I went upstairs to Donnie as Donnie, Justin, and German socialized with our frat brothers in the main hall. What we had found out had really made me sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe that one silly prank was causing all of this. I walked into my room and saw Brody at his desk playing a computer game. I didn't want him to notice that I walked in. I quietly shut the door. Hey Adam, I was looking for you. You got mail on your desk, he said. On my desk was a letter from Pendleton University. I opened, unable to guess what it was about. Brody turned off his computer and I began reading my letter. Hey, I'm going downstairs. Do you want anything to eat or drink? He asked. Oh, no, I'm good, thanks. I said as Brody gave me a strange look. Are you good? Brody asked. Yeah, I'm fine, I said. Brody left. The letter said that my mom hadn't submitted her portion of my financial aid application. If the application didn't arrive soon, I'd be dropped from my classes, which were starting in a few days. And that would mean I would have to terminate my contract with Alpha More. I called her, but it went straight to voicemail. Hi, you reached Lana Banks. I'm not here to take your call. Please leave a brief message and I'll be sure to call you back. Mom, it's me. I need you to call. It's very important. Bye. What a day it had been. When I heard a knock, I shoved the letter under my pillow. German walked in and said, Hey, seems Mr. Alves is throwing a barbecue later. He noticed that I seemed down. What's wrong? Out of all the three guys, I trusted German the most. I pulled the letter from under my pillow and gave it to him. German read it and looked at me. When did you find out about this? A few minutes before you walked in, I said. I'll pay. Gee, no, I can't let you, I said. You're not letting me do anything. I can't let you leave the house. This is the only way I know for sure you'll stay. Let me call my mom. I'll take care of it, I said. German looked at me and for once didn't fight me on this. Okay, he said as he patted me on the leg and left. The next morning, I called my mom again, got no answer. I went to the financial aid office to see if I can get an extension on my tuition payment. Nancy, the advisors, asked, Hello, sir, how can I help you? My name is Adam Banks. I got a letter from your office that my mother hasn't submitted her part of the application. I need an extension. Hold on. So it says, I need an extension. I gave her my ID. How long will you need? I'm from Hoboken, so I can get this handled by next week. I said, she nodded, which put me at ease. Okay, Mr. Banks, I'll extend your enrollment for a week from Monday so you can start on schedule. She gave me my ID back. Thank you, I said. I took a step back and heard a book drop. I realized I bumped into someone and I turned around. I'm so sorry, I said as I saw it was Brandon and an older woman. No worries, Brandon said as he smiled and picked up his book. Adam, this is my mom. Mom, this is Adam. He's part of Alpha More. His mom extended her hand. Hi, I'm Catherine Clovis. I it's nice to meet you. I'll see you at the house, Adam, Brandon said. I got back to Alpha More and went to Justin and Donnie's room. What's up, man? Your text was urgent, Donnie said. I just met Brandon's mom. I said, so what? He's a transfer student. Maybe he needed something from her, Justin said. Wouldn't a mom be angry if she saw the person responsible for her son's death? And you guys don't think it's strange that Ben's case reopened and she's in town? I asked. I already called my lawyer. He'll get more information, German said. Did she say anything? Asked Donnie. No. Okay, let's say she had a hand in reopening the case. Like German said, all she can do is file a civil lawsuit against us, Justin said. I threw my hands up. She can try, but she won't be too successful, German said. I can't believe you guys aren't taking this. I can't believe you guys are taking this so lightly, I said. Adam, I get what you're saying. Let's say it's true. They can't prove that Ben was murdered. They can't prove it was premeditated reckless endangerment. There's nothing, said German. I have to talk to Mr. Alves. I'll see you guys later. You're staying? Donnie asked with a huge smile. Yes, Alpha More for life, German said. Donnie and Justin gave me big hugs. That's great, G, Justin said. German turned to me. Look, bro, everything will be fine. I promise. We hugged it out. German left, and Donnie and Justin smiled with the excitement. Okay, so we have German and Justin. Sorry, Mrs. Best, I'm coming. I promise. All right. German is where the money resides. Oh yes, I can't wait to get deeper in the book so you guys can see how much he is really worth. So what Adam saw today was important, but I needed her to be seen with someone more of a stature, such as Detective Drake. Once I saw that, everything would make more sense. I walked to Mr. Alves' office to let him know that I wanted to sign my contract. I knocked on the door. Come in, he said. I did. German, please close the door. I did, and sat across from him. What can I do for you? I'm ready to sign my contract, I said as he was excited. Excellent. What made you consider coming back? No matter how much I fight it, this is home and will always be. Plus, my dad would never let me live it down if I left. All I hear is Paris did leave the house. Paris was the MVP. I said. I was fine. Paris was great. But in all the years I've been a den father of Alpha More, I never met anyone who had the integrity of an oak tree. What do you mean? I asked. You stand tall for what you believe in. You don't let life just happen to you, but without making sure it gives you an explanation. Al said as he laid the housing contract in front of me. That made me feel great. My father didn't see half of what Mr. Alf saw in me. Without hesitation, I signed the contract, pushed it over to Al's. It's my honor and privilege to say welcome back to Alpha More, he said as he and I shook hands. Thank you, Mr. Alves, I said as I got a text message Drake would be leaving the precinct in 30 minutes. I learned. Everything okay? Asked Alves. Yeah, I just have an overdue book, I said. Oh, well, let me just assign you your room. You'll be in 2A, the single. You're welcome, by the way. My dad's and Paris's old room? I asked, not that excited. Yeah, I figured it would continue a tradition. Thanks, I appreciate it, I said as I attempted to walk out. German, asked Alice. I turned around. Have a great time. I smiled and left. I decided to see Drake without the guys because I knew that my lawyer had called Drake and that he would be inclined to tell me the truth. At least I hope so. I pulled into the alley behind the precinct on 7th Street and parked right behind his car so he would have no choice but to see me. When he walked out, I got out of my car and continued and counted down 30 seconds. Drake opened the door right on time and spotted me. Mr. Rygen, to what I owe this pleasure. I came to ask you some questions. I hope your answers won't be cringeworthy. You're here to ask me questions. Drake folded his arms. Correct, I said. Okay, let's hear them, Drake said, smirking. Who reopened the Clovis case? I asked. That's not public information, Drake said. I threw a folder at him as he stumbled to catch it. I know the answer to that question. Open the file, I said. Drake looked at the file and asked, how did you get this? Let's make something clear, Detective Drake. I'm not the one to play your little games. Honestly, honesty is going to be the key, I said. Next question. Why did you buy this? I asked as I held up the replica necklace. I don't know what that is, Drake said. I pulled the receipt out of my pocket and put it in his hands. Drake, if you lie to me again, I'll make sure this case never sees the light of day, I said. I planned to see if one of you would confess to maybe something else had happened. So it was you who wore the Greek god costume, I asked. I don't know what that is. Should I count that as your third question? I asked. I showed him the sorcerer costume on my phone. He looked at it and said, and then at me, that wasn't me. What is Captain Clovis's motive for working with the DA on this case? I asked, not sure if he would be honest with me. She believes her son was murdered and that his drowning was a cover up. Drake said, confirming my suspicion. Thank you, Detective. I said as I turned around. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a second. Let me ask you a question. Why are you threatened by this case? Is there something you're hiding? Uh-oh. Detective Drake, I am in no way threatened by anything. I think it's foolish of Mrs. Clovis and you to even want to reopen this case. But go ahead. The next toxicologist will find what the first one found, which he had drowned accidentally. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Have a nice day, I said. I returned to Alpha Moore with my suitcase, and Brandon approaches. You need help? Sure, thanks, I said. Room 2A had a queen size bed, a desk, a flat screen. Whoa, nice room, Brandon said. Yeah, this was my father's and brother's room. I didn't realize your family had a legacy here, Brandon said. Yep, it's quite a legacy. My father played pro football for 25 years. He retired when I started here, I said. Brandon nodded. I started to get comfortable with Brandon. I was about to ask him why he joined Alpha More when I heard a knock, and Donnie, Justin, and Adam barged in and looked surprised to see Brandon. I'll leave you guys, Brandon said. Thanks, Brandon, I said as Brandon nodded and left. What the hell was that about? All about? Asked Donnie. He helped me with my bags before you three barged in. I was going to ask why was he here. Oh well, said Donnie as he laid in my bed. Gee, I was looking for you earlier. Where were you? Adam asked. I wanted to lie, but I knew that it would come back to bite me on my ass, so I told them I went to meet with Drake. You did what? Donnie asked. Catherine Clovis and the DA requested the case be reopened according to my lawyer, and Drake confirmed that. She thinks it was murder. The news shocked them. I knew Justin, excuse me, I knew the news shocked them. I knew they had a lot of questions, and I was more prepared. And I was more than prepared to answer them. Sorry, guys, I'm getting tired of reading this already, but it's my books. But yeah, she said, take your time, I'm meeting. Thank you, Mrs. Bass. All right. So last character, I believe, until we get to chapter 5, and I'm ending it there. It's Justin. I can't say that I was surprised that German had gone to question Drake. That was classic German writing. He was always going to get to the bottom of things. Did Drake say we thought he bought the necklace? Adam asked. He thought that planting it in the room would trigger one of us to confess that maybe Ben hadn't accidentally drowned and that we killed him. German said. That makes no sense, said Donnie. Exactly, said German. So he willingly gave you this information? I asked. No, I had to blackmail him into giving it to me, German said. Blackmail? What would you possibly have on him that would make him give you that information? Asked Donnie. Enough to make this case go away, said German. My phone rang. Pip texted she's on her way over. Guys, it's Pip. I gotta go. I said, you want to confront her with what we found? Donnie asked. I don't know. I said, Justin, you have to. I mean, right now we have a case open. If she could be a material witness to it all, said German. You just said you had enough dirt on Drake to make this case get closed. I said, I know what I said, but you never play your trump card first unless you know for sure you'll win. She's standing in the way of this, and if she's working with Clovis, we need to know where she stands, said German. I agree with G. Having dirt on Drake is one thing, but we need to know if Pip is an informant. Donnie said, that's my girlfriend we're talking about, not a Russian spy. I said, the girlfriend who never mentioned she dated the guy we're being accused of murdering, Donnie asked rhetorically. I started to get annoyed with Donnie and German because I didn't believe Pip had ulterior motives when it came to our relationship. Justin, at least ask her why she never told you about her past with Ben. She owes you that much at least, said Adam. I felt like it was three against one. I didn't respond. I just left the room and went outside the house to clear my head. My phone rang again. I pulled it out and I heard a loud noise as if someone had kicked me with a rock. I stood and I looked in the direction and that the noise came from. Hello? I asked. I looked up at German's room and I sent a text. I sent a group text telling them to look out the window. The window to German's room opened and I saw Donnie and Adam looking out. What's wrong? Donnie yelled. I heard a noise. You guys see anything from up there? I asked. They look around. I don't see anything, said Donnie. Me neither, said German. I looked at the far left corner of the house and I saw the Greek god guy pointing his medieval axe at me. I began to run to the front door, but he cut me off. He raised his axe and swung it at me. I lunged forward and made him miss. I tackled him as we tussled. He elbowed me in the head and stood. I tried to stand, but he hit me with the axe and knocked me back down. Things got blurry, but I saw Donnie and Adam tackle him and German come up to make sure I was okay. Justin, oh wow, you're cut pretty bad, said German. He took off his shirt and pressed it against my wound. He pulled out his phone and called the paramedics and the police. I heard Donnie said that the guy had gotten away. Hang in there, Justin, Adam said. I was in so much pain. I heard the sirens pretty soon. I was picked up and put on the gurney. At that point, I knew this was more serious than a mom wanting a case reopened. This was for revenge. I woke up in the hospital bed and saw Adam, German, Donnie, and Mr. Alves. Justin, are you all right? Alves asked. What happened? I asked. That's where we're going. That's what we're going to figure out. Two detectives are waiting outside. I'll let them in. Alves said. Look, guys, we can't tell them everything. German said. I agree. Let's keep it to a minimum. Donnie said. Alice walked in, followed by two detectives. Fellows, you know Detective Drake. Joining him is Detective Bradshaw. They'll be asking you for some questions. Justin, I'm going to call your parents, so excuse me. Alice left. Hello, gentlemen. Mr. Baker, I'm sorry to hear about your attack. We'll do our best to bring justice to this case, Drake said, and German chuckled. Did you say something, Mr. Rygen? Drake asked. No, please continue, German said. Gentlemen, my name is Detective Marsha Bradshaw. I'll be assisting Detective Drake in the investigation. Mr. Baker, I understand you're in a lot of pain, but I need to know what happened. I was attacked, I responded. Did you see your attacker? No, he was wearing a Greek god costume, I said. A what? It's a costume inspired by the sorcerer. The Greek system wears it on graduation day. It's supposed to symbol the power of the Greek god, Sherman said. So this may be someone in the Greek system, asked Bradshaw. No one we can think of, said Adam. Detective Drake, would you know of anyone that would want to hurt us considering the Clovis case is reopening? German asked, prompting Drake to give him an evil look. The door opened, Pippo and Justin, she yelled as she rushed over to me. And it's getting more interesting by the minute, said Donnie as we all looked at Pip. So that's it, you guys. That is chapter 1 through 4 we have read. Sorry if I stumbled. It's a lot to read, and I'm trying to make sure I go as fast as I can because I am late to another video on Mrs. Best channel. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. But okay, so I'm gonna read some comments here. You're talking about Pip. Yeah, it's some red flags for sure. But once again, Justin didn't know that they were together until German uncovered it on his Facebook, which is smart of German to do because considering the fact that everybody posts everything on Facebook these days. So, yes, that's a smart thing to do. As far as German getting a step forward, I just want to let you guys know German is going to do a lot this book and even more than next book. So if you guys think he's crazy now, he gets way worse. He's ruthless. Now, my interpretation of the character so far, I feel like Justin, the reason why Justin's afraid is Justin doesn't want to be single. Justin wants to break the enigma that fraternity men have to be single. And I think he wants to keep that in line. So with this situation happening, it kind of breaks that barrier, as he told Donnie, like I want to try it out. I want us to be in a relationship while being in the house. So that's one stigma. I feel with Donnie, if we're being real, y'all, this is Donnie's fault. All of this is Donnie's fault, if we're being real. So, do you guys think at some point Donnie's going to take responsibility for something he caused? Yes. German does do the most, but when I tell you it works for him, it works for him. When we get deeper into the book next week, you guys are going to see how much him doing the most actually works for him. So Donnie is being messy. Yes, Donnie's being really messy. Donnie is probably one of those characters you have to watch him with both eyes because he's very smart and astute. So yes. And as far as Adam goes, Adam is in a situation where we understand he depends on the financial aid because from what we understand from at least Donnie and German is that they're rich kids. Justin, we don't know as at this point yet if he's on that same spectrum, but we know Adam is depending on financial aid to get him through college. And with his mom not answering the phone, that's going to come up as well where Adam's going to put himself in compromising positions to try to keep himself in school and in the house. How many of us have been there? We all have been there because college was a tough time for us all. So, yeah, Adam is definitely a regular dude. And I think you'll see like a lot of sides to Adam where him being regular, but most of all, him being alone is going to eat at him a little bit. So you guys pay attention to that as well. But that was it, you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will do this next Saturday again around the same time. Um, yes, Adam is us and we are Adam. Pretty much. Adam seems like the one normal one out of all of them. I would say Adam is more normal. I feel like German is just ruthless, but German has a reason to be ruthless, y'all. He's not ruthless just because. German has had a rough. We guys get into book number 2. We get a little bit more into his story. German hasn't had it easy. He just got lucky. He just got lucky. That's all I'm gonna say. German just got lucky. So we're gonna put it like that. Um, but yeah, that was it. That was it. I really enjoyed doing this. It's actually a lot of fun to reread that because I'm like looking at this, I'm going, wow, oh my gosh. So remember, as we're reading on, our mission is to figure out who this is. Do we have any idea of who this is? Leave it in the chat, leave it in the comments if you think you know who this is already. If you don't, no worries. We got a whole book to get through where we may have an idea of who this is. But I'm going to tell you guys one thing, I did give it away in the first 4 chapters. So if you picked up on it, you will know exactly who this is. All right. But that's it, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, we will be back here for a read along for Fraternity Row The Pledge. And let me know if you know, Jim Bunny, it's not Ben. It's not Ben at all. I'm going to shut that down now. I'm not going to say the extent if Ben is still alive or not. We're not going to say that. But I am going to say it's not Ben. A lot of that was a good guess. A lot of people when I first wrote this book thought it was Ben, but no, 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 no. It's not Ben. So yes, but keep reading, reread it. I tell you, I gave it away. I really did. I gave it away of who it is. But that's it, you guys. I'm gonna head over to Mrs. Best channel. Thank you guys. Love you so much, Mrs. Best. I'm coming. I promise. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next recap. Bye bye.